It's a long rest. We're gonna have company.
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlaakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
Alright, I'm the talker. Go on, speak.
I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one
You
inside has
think-
chosen you as an ally, protects you.
You
with
think the
their power.
person protecting me is... you know who.
That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith-Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
You speak true of the Zaithis. Can you trust him? What you want to do is I'll have your back. I do have her back, but also he speaks true of the Zaithis because this is what we know, so... yeah. Lae'zel likes it no matter what. That's funny. I was in that thing, I know.
I served Vlaakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talak Magir in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away.
I should go. Vlaakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust.
Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Okay. Let's talk to people.
So we're going to meet Voss in the city, are we? Set the tenant of the prison free? This is all very, I don't know. I like a good caper, but I'd long for a tiny bit of status quo now and again. Oh, hi.
I didn't expect Lae'zel to turn on the Lich Queen so readily. Wonders never cease. Lady of Sorrows, guide us.
Vlaakith Karsivim Chrath. These were the first, but they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlaakith. Forsake Vlaakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlaakith. She has sinned against me.
What does Ascension entail exactly?
Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the Astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed. I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood. I don't know. I can't know, and that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right.
Wow, this explains a lot of my confusion. So, he's talking about the prince. We're talking about the dream visitor. They believe that they're the same person, but because he doesn't actually mention that, oh yeah, it's the prince, then we take this misunderstanding. Because there's no way the prince would appear to us as, you know, anything besides a Gith. They'd be too proud.
Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
All right.
Yes, we'll meet Kithrak Voss at Chares's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us.
Normally that'd be terrifying, but it seems to be quite common. Alright, what does everyone else have to say?
So, Lae'zel's going to war with Vlaakith? Going to break her chains in Baldur's Gate? Good for her.
You would like that, huh?
What will Voss have to show for himself when we catch up with him, I wonder? His intelligence may yet prove the key to unlocking the artifact's secrets. We should ensure we follow up when we reach Baldur's Gate.
There's a schism growing among the Githyanki people, and Lae'zel just took one step towards choosing a side.
There he is. I ignore you? Nope.
Who there, wanderer? Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
A very pinnacle of wizardry or bard. Mine on every day when we hear of countless ballads in the flesh. Yeah, I'll go with my bard answer.
Oh, I know a minstrel by trade when I see one. Tell me, what ballad, bold enough to lift me onto the pedestal of acclaim, enjoys your musical predilection?
The day the dragon woke in flame, Elminster hailed the White King's heir. 10 leagues into the Underdark, the wizard bore the lance of Kryn across the peaks of the ice where Dale strode fast. The Sage of Shadowdale. I like that one.
Is that so?
Oh, it's a Volo one.
Lyrics
That sounds like
are
one.
my Volo, you know, whose name alone is sufficient enough criterion to arbitrate its acclaim to truth.
Really?
2 weeks I had to endure. A frozen beard and wicked frostbites. Yet he makes it sound like a dalliance through the dales.
Yes, yes, yes. Be that as it may, you said you came all this way on my behalf, did you not? For what purpose?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Bortity washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name. Drank naught, but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it?
So, wizard, I could say surely you could do this, but... Yes, Gale, where's your decorum?
Oh, for the love of...
This way, then? To your camp. Oh, don't dawdle now, lad. You're the one who's in such a frightful hurry.
Oh, nigh on 13 centuries old and he still thinks with his stomach. We'd best follow and see if he's more disposed to speak plainly once it's stopped its grumbling. A wise choice.
Honestly, 13 centuries
Better to
old.
indulge your curiosity than Elminster's appetite.
Yes, what a delightful wedge of old Elfturian that was. Doesn't do to parley on an empty stomach, you know. Makes one's words frivolous when they should be grave. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster!
Right. You see, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can. forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
You were sitting here as an actual divine messenger?
Oh, Mistra's delicate feet are ill-suited for the hardships of the road.
You know where you went wrong.
Yeah, why can't Mr. just tell directly? It's funny.
Dwell
Doesn't
on
want to
that
see him.
here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils. They choose the instruments of their will with great precision. Sometimes the single drops we think we are do not realize what waves we are building up to be. Do not discount yourself, and by the same token, do not discount your enemy. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
The orb.
Precisely. Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help. Or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
That's hilarious. Okay, I'm surprised that she demanded such a sacrifice. This is hardly her way.
Glad it's not just me.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute, and for your sacrifice you will be redeemed. Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid.
Meine Hastra Mistraril Idalion Thras Annas
It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
Still a long journey away. We'll find another way.
Or some other fortune altogether.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too The sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
So, on Elminster, so he's really old because apparently he was a chosen of Mistra, which makes them immortal. Any chosen of any deity are immortal. At least that's a possibility. Another possibility, of course, would be 9th level spells, etc., etc. Longevity potions, etc. So he's just still alive. Apparently, he spent some time as a woman, magically changing himself, in which he was taught by Mistra, changed back into a man, and then he and Mistra became lovers, which is really interesting. So she sent her ex to effectively talk to her new ex? A little weird. Anyway. Do some talkie-talkie.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days. Brave or stupid. I've proved myself the latter too many times where she's concerned. For Mistra to have sent him. The severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so infinite when you're young. A month is an age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling to realize how little of it one might have left.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm looking at more lore.
Of course. We offer the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it.
Oh, so what? Okay, so it looks like, if the information I'm seeing is correct, this is the first Mistra was Elminster's lover. The new Mistra is Gale's lover. She appears to be very Because right now, Baldur's Gate said appears to be 1494 DR. Unless it's a different timeline. Yeah, 1385 DR, which is... uh, 1385, which is when approximately 5e started. The second Sundering. So brought back and he becomes her lover. So this is this game basically is set at the beginning of what would now be called 5e, because D&D, the way it works apparently is every time they have a new edition, they explain why things now, like the way it's not like a new interpretation of the rules to play the game. It's literally the world changing the rules, the way everything works. So it's 1385. Yeah, 1385, and then so that was almost 100 years ago. And since Elminster that would have happened in his youth, and Elminster was born in 1300 years old, so that happened 100 years ago. So he was the lover of the previous one. That's interesting.
I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him.
The Absolute's not a god, though. Not
My orb
yet.
is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it.
So apparently the reason what happened was, too, is that, yeah, Zariel got sucked into 1893, which was the year before the game started. And it looks like yeah, the dead three are dead because they're like dead gods, basically. There's another way.
If there was, I'm sure the goddess of magic and the greatest wizard who ever lived would have identified it. But alas, only one solution is offered.
Maybe it doesn't
Remains ahead
exist
of us for
yet.
now. The heart of the Absolute must be discovered before I can stop its beating.
You're not bullying yourself, Gale. I won't let you, because that's a cheap end game for honor mode.
Let's save such certainty for the moment such a decision is upon us. You may feel differently once we know what we're truly up against.
I mean, you could blow yourself up at the final fight, I guess, but that's a silly one.
Oh, was that Gale's granddad?
Be an awkward family tree.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. But all right. Must have had something important to say to Gale if he came all this way. Good news, I hope.
I don't think it was. It turns out Gale's mom's chest. I just asked him to use to blow up the heart of the Absolute. I was like, don't worry about it. No, I want to say this.
Whoa, now, he's got a... Well, I guess that would explain a little, but... Mistra? I mean, this is a lot to take in. What's he going to do?
I'm not sure. I think he's of several minds.
Tell him to pick the right one. Or better yet, I'll do it. Fucking wizards, man. They always need help picking the simple, obvious option. If Mistra can't think of another way to stop the Absolute than sacrificing Gale, she's no god worth worshipping. I'll say that to Gale in, you know, gentle terms.
That was a nice little bit of dialogue. That felt like first genuine dialogue in a while with characters other than just their tidbits of information.
I can't believe Mistra actually expects Gale to just sacrifice himself like that. Seems like a waste of a fine mind.
Seems like a lot of loss. Isn't that kind of like what you're all about?
Elminster. Even the Githyanki have heard tell of the Sage of Shadowdale. Some of his works have been translated to Tirsu. That doesn't mean his every word carries wisdom, however. Near as I can tell, Mistra demands Gale's faith, but holds no faith in him. Why else would she demand Gale sacrifice himself, and perhaps so many others? Does she not think he can destroy the Absolute with his own immense talents? Does she not know the mighty company that he keeps? Demanding Vlaakith may be, but she acts for the good of the Githyanki people. Mystra is concerned only for herself.
This sounds something like Vlaakith would do
Perhaps he'd find forgiveness
exactly.
in a fiery death. But I can't help but wonder why he'd want it at all.
That is 100% something that Vlaakith would do, and it would be for the betterment of her people. And arguably, she could say, Mr. Say for the betterment of the realm. There's zero difference there.
I can't believe Mistress demanding Gale sacrifice himself to destroy the Absolute. It's just a waste of a perfectly good cult that we could be controlling. And a waste of a perfectly good Gale, I suppose.
Go ahead. I'm listening. She expects those who seek to use the weave to do so honestly, and with respect for its potential to destroy, as well as its potential to save. I doubt she's asked many of her followers to blow themselves up. That's a fate she's bequeathed exclusively to me. She wouldn't ask such a thing if it weren't our only means of survival. However much she's annoyed at me.
Current means of survival.
Oh, you know me, ever the optimist. I'm trying to focus on the positives. Truth is, I was living on borrowed time already. Consuming those items would only have kept the orb sated for so long. If anything, I feel more at peace than I have in months. At least now I know my death will have purpose. It won't be a distant bang in the footnotes of history.
I mean...
That's no ordinary darkness. It feels powerful and familiar. Stay on your guard.
Are you the true soul?
Probably. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. I take the Bard, but I'm gonna go with Dirge.
I'll take that as a yes. Listen up. Grab a torch, stay out of the dark, and move fast. The shadows have eyes. Go on.
Interestingly enough, I'm coming in from a different area. So we're actually just going to camp. I came in through the different area because I went through the Underdark in my other playthrough. So it's going to pop me out a different place. But anyway, this is where I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back and play with mods my Githyanki, or not my Githyanki, my Drow Gish playthrough. And my whole idea, if I haven't said this or you haven't read the description, was to play Act 1 as Tav, play Act 1 as Dirge, and then Act 2 as Tav, Act 2 as Dirge, to kind of compare and see the differences between. Also, I'm able to focus a bit more on this. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'm wondering if this new format is good. If it is, let me know. The Gish Dirge Act 2 will be, not Gish Dirge, the Gish Tav Drow will be normal Let's Play format instead of all chopped up, and I think I'm going to keep it that way. So thank you all very much for watching, and God bless.